Well, if Mr. Brechbiel is back with us now, I'd like to introduce Martin, MMR, to you and have him conduct his scratch building corner. Martin, welcome.
It's been a long day fighting with the phone company, and I lost. That's another hour or two story that you don't need. So tonight we start something new, a new project. And we've got two types of windows, some doors, and some leftover bagged up chimney pieces. That's where we'll start, just odds and ends. Stuff out of the shoebox of leftovers or stuff I just forgot to put away. Or in the case of the horizontal sliding windows, I only have 6 of them, I think. This is a good excuse to get rid of them all. So I don't know why I have them. They probably came in a box of other stuff I bought. Came along for the ride, so they can go away. The best way I know to make things go away is to put them to work. Build something with them. Here's something, yes, my precious, a piece of 6-inch wide clapboard. Yeah, you don't buy this in the store or order it very easily, it seems. I used to get this from Kapler. In fact, I have pretty good stock of it still, but it's something I pull out reluctantly. But I thought, well, I should show people that you don't have to, there is wider stuff available than the standard 3-inch stuff that you get, or 2 3/4 inch, whatever it is, the standard stuff that comes in little plastic bags from Northeastern or Mount Albert. But you can get 6-inch. And at one point, Kapler would custom cut it to any way you want it. No idea what they do now. Okay, so that said, I made some doors. And I thought, well, these are large doors, actually. These are a good 7 or 8 feet tall. It's just 3x stock with some strip wood appended to the front of it that's overlaid. That's what holds all of it together. And some carpenter's glue and some weights and 4 doors. Now we're in real trouble because I have no plans. So Tom's safe. I don't even make instructions. We're making it up as we go along, right from the seat of our pants. So not quite sure where we're going to end up half the time. So we'll put this on here and say, well, that's where the 4 doors go. That's a big wall, and that's going to have to get cut down a little bit. And we need some openings, so we got to make some openings. Okay, that's what scalpels and utility knives are for, and steel straight edges. And a little bit of patience and a piece of oak plank underneath of it to keep your utility knife safe and from skipping out and cutting your thumb off, which I tried to do on Monday. Only partially succeeded. Most of it's still attached. Okay, so after you trim the top off, we open up for the 4 doors. 3/32 square stock all around the openings and on the ends. Those are the ends that we'll glue the sides onto, whatever the sides are going to be. These are pretty good size openings. There's a reason for those being pretty substantial posts around the doors. Eventually, we're going to make hinges, working hinges. So that'll be fun. I prematurely put the 1x stock overheads over the doors. I say prematurely because I'm sure I'll break these off at least once. They're delicate, and this is something that I would advise. If you're doing something like that, put it off too close to the end, because colorful language will definitely ensue when you break it off later. And I'm sure I will break these off at least once, if not twice. Okay, the back. This is something where I actually reinforced it because I didn't want to break the clapboard. So you're cutting close. You're cutting close to the edges, and it's with the grain. It'll snap right off, right here, every time. Particularly when you're cutting with a big, heavy-handed utility knife. So a piece of whatever this is, 16th inch by whatever, or 30-second by whatever, just glued to the back with some carpenter's glue, prevents that from happening. It's a preemptive salvage before you break the daggone thing. So it's not necessary to straighten it out or worry about warpage. It's worried about breakage. So interceding in advance. I thought, well, we need an office. Well, I have no idea what size to make the office. Well, I do know. It can't be any taller than that front wall. And I'm going to call the door, the wall with the 4 doors, the big openings, the front wall. So the office walls can't be any higher than that. That'll look silly. And they probably should be a little bit shorter. And we have to have the rain run off the top, so they got to have a little bit of an angle to them. So some scrap clapboard, and it is scrap. You can see I glued a couple of pieces back together. I keep all the various types of clapboard and scribe siding and various plastic baggies and whenever possible, I pull them out and glue pieces back together and up to salvage and extend the use of everything I've bought, which could also equate to being painfully cheap. Okay, so we put some 3/32 on the sides, on the ends of the 2 sides, cut some holes open for some doors and windows, the other windows, and test fit them, make sure they fit. And there's our office. Well, you know, there's only 3 walls there, so it's going to be kind of curious how that works. It's going to be very airy on the 4th side. Glue it all up on the end joints to the 3/32. I use a little bit of goo, smear it around, take it apart, put some CA on it, stick it back together, get it right fast, because if you blink too many times, it's already set. And a bunch of, I think it's 3/16-inch balsa. I got a bundle of balsa wood for some reason that I don't know why, but it's great for putting on here as surfaces for gluing the roof down later and for straightening things out. Those cross beams just keep things stiff and nice and stiff so it doesn't move around on me. And we have an open space on the back. You can see it better maybe on this side. No window on that back side. And if I read what I wrote at the top, it says the 4th wall will come next, the 4th wall to come next week. So I guess I might be done. And I am. Surprise. I don't know what's in my slides necessarily, because I only made them maybe an hour ago, maybe 2. And like I said, it's been a long, painful day fighting with the phone company. And I don't recommend it, because no matter what you do, you're going to lose. So if there's any further questions, go ahead.
Questions for Martin? Well, Martin, I hope that you don't have any more telephone fights tomorrow.
Well, I'll warn you right now, Jim, don't try and call me. My phone, my phone number is currently non-existent for the next day or 2.
I understand.
Well, I'm glad you do, because I don't.
You don't live in Florida.
No, my mother-in-law does, so.
I get it. Well, Martin, thank you so very much. Hope you feel better and don't have to deal with the phone company tomorrow.